how to be professional. How to be professional. What's up? This is Keith Kalfas, and this is a requested video about how do you communicate to your clients so you're perceived as a professional. And it's interesting and a great question for when you're new in your own service business, because, hey, we weren't taught these things in a job or in school or in growing up. What's up? This is Keith Kalfas with the Keith Kalfas YouTube channel, where I give motivational, inspirational tips about how to start a landscaping or window cleaning business from the ground up with nothing. If you're brand new to this channel, hit the subscribe button and tap the notifications bell so you don't miss anything. Anyways, all right. I suggest right into the tactical is open up Google Docs or any note-taking app, or maybe even write it down. Start creating scripts of how you would talk to your customers and prospective clients on the phone. Literally write it out and do it the same way every single time until it becomes automatic or hits automaticity. Communicate with your customers by first modeling what other successful companies do. When you hear service people on the phone, how do they sound? What I mean is take out all personal emotion. Aside from that of being happy and in a serving mentality, all personal stuff goes away. The customer doesn't care at all. So what you're doing is you're putting on an act, kind of, but it's the best part of you. You're playing a role. You're playing the role of the salesperson in your business every time you talk to a customer. So you're smiling, your eyes are smiling, you're listening. Listening is a full contact sport, and you're feeling into where the customer's at by being very present and attentive to them and their needs in a serving way. So when I first started my landscaping business, my life was a living hell. There was crazy stuff going on in my personal life that was like, for example, I'm driving scared on the way to a landscaping job just a couple months into my business. I'm scared. My bills are due. I'm trying to get work. And like I look and I see, I'm like on the phone with my wife. It's 8 o'clock in the morning and I'm driving past a bank and I saw like a little kitten running by the bank was closed. And it was like it was like an abandoned bank or something. And I was like, honey, there's like a stray kitten. My wife loves animals. I love animals. She loves animals. That's her dream, is to open up an animal rescue one day. You know, cool. I'm like, there's a little kitten, a kitten. She's like, oh my God, does it have a home? I'm like, I don't know. It looks like it's lost. She goes like, you gotta save it. You gotta save it. And I'm driving to the job. I'm like, I gotta save it. So I drive into the bank and I got my old crappy truck and the kitty runs, and you know what? There was a lady pulling up to the ATM, so it was open. And I go, there's a kitty. It ran under your car. And they're like, what's going on? It's 8 o'clock in the morning. Is this guy crazy? I'm like, no, I'm telling you, there's a kitty. Don't go anywhere. So I get out of my truck. I'll make this quick. And I go, I'm like, stop, don't go. And they didn't believe me, right? And I crawled underneath this lady's car looking for the cat. I'm like, just stop. And the lady goes, it's a dead cat now. Ah! And takes off and runs me over, right? My whole shoulder and everything, like twice, because the front wheels, no, it was just the back wheels. But I got ran over and I never saw the cat. And the lady yelled out the window, it's a dead cat now, and takes off. And I'm sitting there like, my wife is like, hello. I'm like, I just got ran over and I can't find the cat. She's like, what? And this is so now you have to show up to your customer's property and act like nothing went wrong, right? I was up all night fighting with my wife in the beginning of my business. This is real stuff here. Like, we'd be up till 3-4 o'clock in the morning fighting because I was never home. I was constantly working. She was like questioning my integrity because I was never home. And I would come home with like empty pockets, lint in my pockets. Then what are you doing all day? I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea. And she's like, well, why don't you go get a job? The bills are due. Like, she had a job too, right? But like, it takes two to tango. Crazy stuff. Friends passing away, going to funerals, crazy dramatic stuff in the family, debt collectors calling, And it's weird when you are trying to be a professional in your business, all the residue from that crazy stuff that you might be going through will be leaking out through the seams in your communication while you're talking to a customer. And it's very hard to hide that stuff because maybe you might think being a good person or being a real person. All right. Here's another thing. For some reason, I drove 2 cities away. I finally landed this big client. It was a rich property to do all of their property maintenance. And I'm like literally driving 3 cities away, which was stupid. And my wife calls me freaking out because she's in a panic because she's already on her way to work. She's running late for work and she wants me to come home because our dog got out and our dog is running down the street. I'm like, I can't. I have to be at this job right now. We're booked up to our eyeballs. I got to go. What are you talking about? The dog got out. I mean, I love our dog and everything, but like, you got to go look for... I can't. You have a business where you can do whatever you want, and I have a job where I have to punch in, and I've already been late, and I'm going to get fired, Keith. I'm going to get fired. And my wife is like going crazy. I'm like, oh, I got to be there, right? At this job. And now I like literally had to turn around and drive 3 cities back home because my wife was at work and I had to run around and catch my dog that got out because she was stressed out too and she was late for work and she was afraid she was getting fired where she had to punch in and I had the option to not punch in, yet our dog had gotten out, yet I was the breadwinner, like crazy stupid shit, right? And now I called up the customer and was like, stupid thing, don't ever do this. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna have to be back around like 11 a.m. because I have to run back home because my dog got out. When you're scared and you're in anxiety and you can't divorce yourself from chaos, you might say stupid shit to your customers. So it gets back to the husband who hired us, who was in a pressing, urgent moment to get his property taken care of because he was having a party that weekend, and he left me a well-worded, angry message saying, like, it was egotistical too. He's like, listen, I'm the CEO of multiple companies. Do you think I care that you, because your dog got out? And I felt so stupid and so small, like such a worthless idiot. Like, yeah, like, one is, why would I unprofessionally tell the customer that my dog got out? This was many years ago, right? And then also, like, the customer's wife got mad at him saying he was like insensitive, and then they hired us back, and then they ultimately fired us because I put a bad impression in the customer's mind, right? And then I realized no matter what circumstance it is, you should never ever make an excuse to your clients at all, ever, and tell them that your dog got out. Like, what type of, like, that's when you're dealing with an unprofessional contractor, quote, a kid in a pickup truck who's trimming your bushes versus a professional company. They're hiring you to take care of their problem at a cost. They're trading time for dollars. They're buying your time, your company's time. You're selling time. That's all you're selling is time for dollars. The last thing they want is to hear about your problem, no matter what the problem is. So, and the interesting thing is when you're new in business and you're trying to be professional, and if you have a lot of crap going on in your life, and a lot of it can just be due to lack of money, you become an attractor magnet. You've heard of the law of attraction. You attract all this drama into your life just by being a dramatic person. So it's very hard to hide this stuff to in front of your customers, and you wonder why. Now, the thing is, the more shrewd you become over time, the more focused you become. Like when you pick up the phone and you call a customer, let's say you're running late. Hi, Mr. Jones. Hi, Mr. Jones. Like you literally put down a pair of shrub trimmers. You stopped a lawnmower, right? This is Joe with Joe's Lawn Care, and I'm just telling you, I'm sorry about I'm running late because I'm behind on this job and this and that, and it was raining last week, and I promise I'll be there in a little bit. So maybe if you're feeling anxiety, and now you transfer that anxiety to your customer is going to get off the phone and be like, God, this guy's dramatic. I don't know how long I even want to keep this guy around. instead of taking a breath and saying, you're in chaos right now. Divorce yourself from chaos. If you can't do it, don't you dare call that customer. Yet. Block out a time. Okay, every hour, every day after lunch, or at 11 a.m., whatever time you pick. Hi, Mr. Jones. Yes. Hi, this is Joe with Joe's Lawn Care. Did I catch you at a bad time? Okay, if you did catch him, hey, okay, when's a good time to call you back? All right, I'll call you back in an hour. You could be, I don't know, in the middle of a hurricane. Don't let your customer know that. Hi, Mr. Smith, this is Joe with Joe's Landscaping. Did I catch you at a bad time? Great. Hey, the reason I'm calling you is we do have you on schedule to be there tomorrow morning, and we're normally always there. And but we've had quite a bit of rain coming this past week, if you haven't noticed, and it's just pushed our schedule back by literally 2 whole days. So, but we will be there. We pride ourselves on being on time. We're just behind schedule, but rest assured, we'll be there. And we're looking at, instead of tomorrow, we'll be there the next day, Thursday morning instead. Sound good? All right, perfect. Okay. Thanks, Mr. Smith. All right, take care. Bye. Like, that's a phone call. There's no emotion in there. So when you practice on doing that with your customers and speaking in an assertive tone, instead of going up when you talk like this, take a breath and talk down. Hey, Mr. Smith, this is Joe with Joe's Landscaping. Yeah, did I call you at a bad time? The reason I was calling is because of this, and it's like you can't control the weather, right? It's just feelings. If you are an empathic person, that's a great thing. That's a beautiful thing. You have empathy. You can feel the trees and the forest and the grass, and you care about every little cricket. Like, God made you special that way, and people that aren't like that aren't special. But unfortunately, in the world of commerce and commercialism, the people who become really successful in business they have high low emotion, right? They're more observational, they're more analytical, or they look at things, they're drivers. They're not in the emotional realm. So I think that being aware of this stuff alone, just being exposed to this type of information, really helps you. And then the cool thing is, you have all these customers and clients to choose from that you can practice this stuff. You can practice being professional. If you mess up, don't beat yourself up about it. If a customer fires you and you had some dramatic episode where you were late 3 times in a row, and then you had 3 jobs going on at once, and you couldn't deliver the highest quality product, and your personal life was falling apart. I don't know, this happens to everybody, right? And you finally got the job done, but you were disappearing in the middle of the job because you had to go to a funeral. Stuff like this really happens. And for some reason it leaked out, and the customer picked all that drama up. You can just upgrade your identity and learn from that lesson, and now be the new, higher, better version of yourself, professional version of yourself with a new customer. Your new customers don't have to know about that old stuff, right? Because you're a new person now, right? I've had old customers call me back, and now I'm got a new identity, a new higher price. Everything is different. So you get in where you fit in, which also means you're going to attract customers like yourself, right? If you want to attract the really, really, the perfect customers that don't even care about the price, they just want great service, you have to get in where you fit in and get yourself into that state of consciousness where they can feel it and it resonates. They just feel it by the way you talk over the phone, and now they want to go with you because they know there's not going to be any drama attached to the service. And drama might not even be the right word. It could just be little snags or friction. They don't want to deal with that. The best type of clients are the ones that they can just tell they're looking for a top-notch service provider who's experienced, licensed, and insured. They know you're going to do the job the right way the first time, and they're willing to pay extra to get that done. They just want to throw money at the problem. They don't care. They just want to write the check and get the problem off of their plate so they can continue serving their customers and their businesses and their careers and taking care of their families. So when you start to resonate on that level, because water seeks its own level, you will start attracting clients like that, and you'll actually start repelling the clients that aren't like that. I've had guys in our industry that I've coached send me text message or Facebook threads of them, having these long, dramatic back and forth conversations with their clients over some little $100 service. Way too much conversation going on, to the point I was like, okay, this lady's upset. Now she's talking you down on the price because this happened in her personal life, and that's why she's trying to get a deal. And then you understand because you've been there before, and now you're trying to do her a favor, and you're trying to get out there and go out of your way, and you keep negotiating back and forth, and it's all about now you're emotionally hooked, and you're trying to do this person a favor. Like, all that stuff, when you're going through that stuff feels so real to you, because it is real. But you got to be a good person so you don't burn in small business hell or something. You have to be a good person, and you have to bend over backwards for people, and that's how you build your business and get referrals, by doing people's favors and things like that. And it's kind of sad, but the truth is that's only partial truth. That's only a portion of being in small business. That's only a portion of clientele. It's only true partially at best. It is true, but it's only partially true, because there's other entire realities that you can evolve into being a service business provider, where you don't deal with stuff like that at all. You don't feel bad about it at all. You're not trying to do people favors at all. And this comes into knowing your worth. When you know your worth, and you really get in tune with that, and in tune with yourself. And I think this can happen right away. It can take years of trial and error. And I think it starts to happen where you go, oh my God. First you have to get angry. It's like the 9 stages of grief. I gave this customer a deal, and I bent over backwards for them, and I went out of my way to do them a favor. And I show up next week at their house because they're having problems and financial issues. And then next week I show up at their house, and there's a brand new BMW in the driveway. Then I bend over backwards for this customer again, and I give them a deal on their fall cleanup or whatever. And because I really care, because they seem stressed out when they talk to me and they have money problems. And then there's a $30,000 brand new brick patio in their backyard with a fire pit, and their kids swinging on a brand new swing, a tree swing that looks like it was installed by some crazy professionals. Okay. And then you get invited in this person's house, and now they have what looks like to be a brand new big screen TV and brand new furniture. All right. And then they're gone for a week on vacation in Hawaii. So after you go through this crap over and over and over and over with customers, you find out that it's just where you're resonating. Some people just don't care about whatever they're paying you to do. They just want to get it off their plate. They're not willing to spend top dollar. They just don't care. And that's where it's a numbers game. But also you start to say, you know what? Don't get mad at the customer. Take responsibility and say, you know what, I'm going to upgrade my identity. And read a book by Howard Spencer Johnson, Who Moved My Cheese. It's an amazing book. You got to read it on audible.com. I'll put a link in the description below to audible.com. I'm going to end this video right here. If you like this video and videos like this, hit the subscribe button, tap the notifications bell. Let me know in the comments below if you like these deep, crazy, psychological